So when you come to the pool, you would be floating on your back as you would be on a massage table, but instead you are just here in the water, in your back, safely floating either from different floaties like this one, floating on your head. There are some floaties that we use on your legs to help your legs stay afloat. You can also be supported from me, on my elbow, on my hand, on my shoulder, and that will allow you to just explore that freedom of movement, of being in a three-dimensional environment, just floating. And while we are there, I would perform body work. So one of the most important things about this therapy is the connection with your breath. And as you breathe in the water, your body kind of like floats up. And when you breathe out, your body sinks in the water. So kind of that dance. In fact, the first Watsu movement is called the water breath dance. That will help your body to explore creative movement. Sometimes spontaneous movement happen naturally, and you as a practitioner just follow what's happening. So this therapy, it's one of the principles of Shiatsu that you can apply to Watsu is the principles of being instead of doing. So there is an art of learning how to be with somebody in the water without putting your judgment and thinking about what you're doing, but just totally being present, as you could see how you are in the water with a baby. The level of presence that you experience with somebody in the water goes beyond words, and it's a healing path even for the practitioner. When they have that life in their womb, and then they go in the warm water environment and they are floating, it kind of feels like the womb within the womb. So that connection that goes really deep into the spiritual level with that being helps them getting more empowered of their process. And physically, what the water offers is a very gentle environment to create movement. Now all the pelvic area will be preparing during the last few months of the pregnancy to open up so the baby can be born. And what happens when you're doing Watsu, you can practice all those kinds of movements in the hip, in the sacroiliac joint, in the lumbar spine, in a way that's very gently, very efficient. So they can get lots of movement that will help those joints to open up when it's time. Now, the Shiatsu aspect or Chinese medicine, there are like all these acupressure points that you can use and facilitate the flow of the chi energy that will help just things go on their own and at their own pace. And it's just a way of supporting the natural process of pregnancy. In water, it's very intuitive and very fluid. Weightlessness aspect and that freedom of being, again, feeling like sometimes my clients say like, I feel like I'm not pregnant, which is amazing, but still they feel that life within them, which still like feels the connection within the hardness or carrying that heavy weight along, right? And it's very deeply relaxing. It's kind of like a reset of the nervous system. It creates all this kind of cradling and rocking motions that help with the parasympathetic system to just activate and slow down the sympathetic system, and helps relaxation on the muscles. Like you can imagine when you're in the water, like you're feeling that touch, that continuous touch in your skin. So it's like as you are moving in the water, you can feel like that kind of like a gentle massage just from the water. And that's what helps the nervous system to relax. And pregnant women need to be relaxed, need to be connected and going inwards in that process so they can experience fully what the sacredness of a caring life within them. So when I invite parents to come in the pool and practice Watsu with their babies, it's a way of sharing that level of presence and connection in a level that goes beyond words. That it's a way of communicating with their babies through movement. So I invite them with a kind of like a guided sequence that has been I got the inspiration from Riccardo Palumbo, a doctor in Italy, Watsu instructor. He developed this Watsu for babies method that comes from Watsu, and it's a way to help children to feel centered, to feel their body awareness, and to get relaxation under their muscles, and to just experience that freedom of movement with joy. And I share that with their parents so they can also experience that bonding connection through communicating with this way of creative movement. It's an approach of being in the water that it's hard to explain. There is no words to explain like that deep sense of connection that you can create with a baby while they're in the water. The sense of how they are bringing their awareness is kind of changing and shifting when they're in the water, and they get very relaxed. Babies really enjoy it. They remember. They just were in the womb for months, being like just experiencing that kind of like not very much space, but still being able to do the movement in the water, in the warm water. So when they come back in the water, it kind of feels the same way, like coming back to that state and remembering. And they have their ears in the water sometimes, and they can hear like, that's how I heard my mom when I was in the womb. Just feeling that connection again. And it's kind of like a transition to like there is a big traumatic experience with a child when a child is born, from being so close in the womb back to the world and breathing and to their bodies, and they don't know yet they have a body. It's kind of like quite a traumatic experience. So just bringing them into the water as soon as they can, it kind of brings that transition in a more peaceful way, and they can get more connected with their bodies and are able to experience fully their lives from the very beginning.